everybody, and welcome back to NASCAR Thunder 2003 Career Mode. We are at Pocono Raceway. Qualified P33 on lap 1. I don't think this lap's going to be faster. Had a difficult time in turns 1 and 2. So we're going to come across the line here. Actually a little faster, so Mike got a couple of spots. Yes, we're going to qualify P30 for the Pocono 500.
MRN is live in Pennsylvania today at the Pocono Raceway for the Pocono 500. What can we look for on this unusual track, Barney?
The corners here at Pocono can be absolutely brutal, and gear selection is crucial for those long straightaways. The drivers that'll do the best are the ones that can set their turns up correctly and slingshot out of them for that extra boost.
The DuPont Chevrolet will begin the race in the top 5 in points.
He just needs to keep digging like he has been. Sometimes when drivers reach the top 5 in points, they start to push themselves too hard on race day and wind up losing spots instead. I'm sure he doesn't want that.
The Delphi car would like to break this run of bad luck he's been having at the speedways.
And a good finish would go a long way in boosting that team's morale. I guarantee it would make a whole lot easier to come to these racetracks.
So Bobby Labonte will lead us to the green flag here. A great run for Greg Biffle as well. He'll roll off P3. Now, going off what the MRN people said, it's not that we haven't had good luck or good runs overall at these races. It's been specifically these, it's Dover. The last race at Dover is what we did really, really bad at. But we are green here for the Pocono 500. Slowly through the gears, lose a couple positions. Jamie McMurray, we had to beat off with a lot of contact at the end of the last race. Got quite a few positions there on the start. We got actually a great run through turn 1 there. Nearly got into Ward Burton. This race 20 laps. Off into turn 2 for the first time. I never drove Pocono very much by choice in these older games. I wasn't a big fan of it. But in later games, I actually became quite a big fan of Pocono. In fact, on iRacing specifically, I absolutely adore Pocono to drive at. Especially in an INDYCAR. The INDYCAR Pocono races are always fun. It's a difficult track, and it definitely takes some commitment because it's a very, there's 3 very different corners, so it does take a bit of, a little bit of contact there with Kurt. It does take, some concentration and some effort to be put in beforehand, but if you can get it down, Pocono is a ton of fun. I actually was one of the few people who would enjoy this race growing up. Yes, it's not the most action-packed, but I've always been such a big fan of strategy racing. I always love when a race goes fuel mileage. I always find that kind of strategy fascinating. So you'd always see that kind of stuff here. That being said, I'm definitely glad it's down to a 400-mile race instead of the 500, because especially, it seems like, especially back in these days, this race always, maybe not this race, but always the second race at Pocono was just plagued with so much weather and rain that it just made for such a miserable experience. To the outside of Ward Burton. Moving our way up pretty good here. Greg Biffle, who started up front, falling back. Actually went to Pocono just once as a kid. I was like 6 or 7, and we were just there for practice, but it definitely doesn't seem like a track I would enjoy being at. It's kind of like a road course in a way where you really don't see that much, so I would like to see a race, though. I do want to see a race at just about every track, though, one day. I can at least say I have been to the track. Of course, this was the old version before they redid the track at, what was it, around 2012? Way down the straightaway here, so P18 currently making our way pretty decently through the field. We seem to have a good, consistent car. Running a little high here in turn 1 and 2. Trying to carry as much momentum as we can down the straightaways.
You're clear.
Underneath Robbie Gordon here as we head to the tunnel turn. Kurt almost getting to the back of us there. Ricky Rudd, he started a round in the back with us. He's working his way up through the field as well.
It's still there.
Of course, after Pocono is my home race, Michigan.
Okay, we're clear.
It's Kurt Busch out of turn 3. Just not going to be able to hold him off here. Probably going to drag race down the straightaway. Here comes Ricky Rudd as well.
The leader has about a 9-second lead on us. The 97.
Rudd gets in line behind us for the time being.
Still there. We're off the pace. Everything okay?
Drove it in way too high. Oh, we got a blown engine, and that's Matt Kenseth.
The 31 car is looking to pass.
Kenseth is out of this race. Get up in front of Kevin Harvick. Try to draft off our Ricky Rudd here. These are fast guys that just happen to qualify in the back, so expected them to kind of be the ones to get past us here. I know I said that in a previous video, but that is one of the things that I truly liked about this era a lot more was you would have people that raced well but qualified terrible, and you'd have people that qualified well but couldn't race very well, maybe because it was their equipment or anything else, but I just don't see a lot of that anymore, it seems like. P19 now as Kevin Harvick is flying down this front straightaway with Ricky Rudd. Kurt Busch not making moves as quickly. Yeah, the throttle there got a little tight there in the middle of the corner. So it seems like pit stops are starting early. It looks like because what will happen is you don't really need to worry about fuel too much. This kind of seems all about the tires. And you know what? I think we have a really good opportunity here. So we are going to go ahead, come in, get it to 70. All right, change all the tires. Don't worry. Don't think we have any damage, but don't worry about it. So that's what we're going to go for here. We're going to try to do the undercut here, try to get some good laps in on these tires and see what we can do here. All right, so we're going to need it to stay green because we are going to go a lap down. So please, please stay green. For the one time I wouldn't like a caution to mix things up. So let's see what we can do here. We're P41. Not sure who the other car is behind us. I know Matt Kenseth's out of the race. Not sure who the other car is, but let's see what we can do here.
Number 1 is still there.
To get a little room there, though, to Steve Park.
The 1 car is coming high. Clear on both sides.
Already, it looks like this could work out in our favor because we are flying just down the straightaway. I mean, look how much ground we're making up in turn 3. There's a couple more cars, looks like, are going to come into the pits this lap. Tony Stewart just came in, so let's put our foot down and see what we can do. So as the pit sequence comes to an end here, it looks like the undercut we did put us right about where we were before. We're P17. We were, what, P18, I think, before the pit stop. So no complaints there. Is Kurt Busch going to get underneath us here? He was ahead of us before. So even though our spots haven't... Oh, sorry, Kurt. Oh! Kurt tried to go for revenge there. Kurt waiting for the takeout. But it seems like the cars around us have mixed up a little, even though our position didn't really change. You can see with this slower engine just how much slower down the straightaway we are than Kurt Busch. 6 laps to go here. Slid up the track a little bit right there.
Everything okay with the car?
And at that point where I wouldn't mind a caution right now. I don't know how many laps it would take up, maybe 2 or 3, but I think just to bunch the field up because really I have not, this is the most I've been around somebody since. I mean, I believe that's Rusty in front of me. And he's just kind of been there the whole time. Ward Burton, I'm sure he's going to start catching us soon because the tire's definitely starting to go away, so hitting that couple laps earlier does mean we're going to start struggling sooner than everyone else. Overall, pretty happy with that. I mean, we qualified 30th, gained around 10, 10-ish spots or so, depending on where we finish here. And definitely a better performance than the last race at Dover. Well, the leader's taking the white flag. We are on 2 laps to go, and we are being caught fast. As you can see, there is no one in front of us. The tires have definitely fallen off on this car. Our lap times are way off those fast laps I put on earlier in the stint. Feels like we're having to just drive so much slower than everybody else just to try to run a decent line. You see how much slower we had to be in turn 3 here. Out of turn 3, coming to the white flag. This is a big pack of cars behind us, but we just need to hold off.
Bring it in. We're way low on gas. Last lap.
Go. Let's try to hold on to our top 20 position here, having to brake way early into the corner. Sadler gonna get to our outside, but we're gonna kind of crowd him here and hold him off there. Checkered flag is out. Down the straightaway, the long back straightaway. The final time and into the tunnel turn. Heavy on the brakes here to try to keep it down low since it is a 1-groove corner. Comes Mikey, gonna try to hold him off here into turn 3. The AI won't go high. It won't go too high, but Mikey's gonna try going at least to the middle lane. Oh, crowding him. No, Elliott. We're gonna hold them both off, and we're gonna take home P18. I am very happy with that because, I mean, what, our race high was P17, so good for us. Tony Stewart wins the Pocono 500. So as we get ready to head for Michigan, we're back to over $1 million in our bank account. By the way, if I did end up cutting them out, I cut out the highlight package for Pocono because all of the camera angles sucked and you couldn't see a thing and it showed essentially nothing, so you didn't miss anything. All the MRN people said is we didn't get a scratch on the car and, extra hours in the body shop and all that normal crap. So we are currently P22 in the standings. Jimmy Spencer has moved up into P20. Meanwhile, at the top of the standings, it gets a little bit more interesting here as the gap between second and third is close between Mark Martin and Sterling Marlin. Jeff Gordon and Dale Jr. are 4th and 5th, quite a bit out as we get closer to the halfway point of this season. So our R&D, our engine power upgrade will be done in 1 race. Taking a look at our garage, you can see it looks like both of our stuff is done. The chassis build, it has 1 more race on it. So for Michigan, we're going to go with a 100 engine, and we will go with the 100% chassis. Now in terms of our chassis, our engine, well, since the one's going to be ready next, I don't think we should go ahead and start repairing anything because it's just going to be able to, I think we'll be able to overhaul it at that point. By the way, if I'm wrong about that and I don't understand how this overhaul works, please let me know in the comments down below. In terms of our chassis, though, we're going to go ahead and repair this one since it is currently in the worst condition. Get that done within 2 races, and we should be good to go there. So still over $1 million in the bank. And we have 13 races left on our current sponsor deals. But yeah, up next, my home race, the Sirius Satellite Radio 400 at Michigan International Speedway. I always preferred that logo over to the current one. But that's going to do it for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you did like it, leave a like. Subscribe for more NASCAR Thunder 2003 content. And I'll see you next time. Bye!